Hello, Alden.
Hello, how you doing today, Kim?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Thanks for coming today. I really
Oh,
appreciate you being here.
well, thank you for having me. To be honest, I'm excited, looking forward to this, my first ever podcast.
Oh, that's so great. So I want to tell people how we met.
Okay.
We were in the Apple store and we were making a purchase. I don't remember who we were seeing first. I forgot his name, but I don't know if he's the manager of the store. I don't know who he was, but he said, "Well, let me go get Alden, and he can help finish this out for you." And we're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." And so here comes this guy, Alden, zipping across the floor in a wheelchair, and he's like, "Yeah, how may I help you?" And you're like so full of life and so full of energy, and you're making us laugh. I don't even know what we we're talking about, and I know what day you do your laundry, and I know what days you're off. I think you needed to change the monitor.
The monitors and the mouses every Thursday at work.
And
Oh,
so
Tuesday,
we
every Tuesday,
every
every Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yes,
yeah,
every
because I'm
Tuesday.
I'm like, your mouse is gonna die, and you go, well, what day is this? Okay, that's a weird question. And then you told us that they did it every Tuesday.
Yeah, every
So
Tuesday night.
we started talking a bunch about all kinds of things, and you were just so entertaining. And then I had asked, what happened to you? Because you were in a wheelchair. And
Yes.
then why don't you tell everybody your story?
All right. My name is Alden Gibbs Jr. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. 5.5 years ago, I was actually shot. So I'll give you the rundown for how my day started. I was in Lake Chelan, coming back from my best friend's. She had her at the time. I want to say it was her 29th birthday, and then we just all closest friends went down to Lake Chelan. I was doing a polar plunge Saturday night, which is ironic, jumping in -10-degree weather. Got myself
Really?
all hyped up. Yes, and then Sunday. I came back home, so we drove over from Lake Chelan. I got home. We probably got home maybe 6 p.m. in the evening. And then it was a party that was going on. It was at Stage Nightclub here in the Seattle in the Pioneer Square area. The party is once probably they throw a party once a month with like a theme. So this particular night it was called the Black Party. Didn't want to go. I told everybody I wasn't going. I had a couple of my buddies come over after. Well, they just showed up because I was like everybody's welcome at the house. I didn't really invite them over. They came over. They was kind of pre-funking, getting ready to go out, trying to peer pressure me into coming. So I made a decision probably at 11:30 to say, okay, I'll go with you guys. Mind you, this is 11:30 at night.
That is
So we
late.
got, yeah, it was pretty late. We got there at exactly 12:15 on the dot. Got through security, went right in because we know the bounces and everything, so they just let me right in. And then something about the night just didn't seem right. Like it was normally this particular party once a month. It's like the ratio to guys to girls was a lot to a little, but to this night it was like a lot of guys with a little bit of women, probably like a four guys to one female ratio. So that already kind of was throwing me off a little bit. And I'm just like, you know what, this something's gonna happen tonight. I'm gonna stop drinking. So mind you, prior to us leaving the house, I only had one shot of vodka at the time, and then got to the nightclub and had one drink. And then after I saw the ratio, I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna be fine for the rest of the night because I don't know what's gonna happen, and it just seems like something's going to happen. But never in a million years I would have thought something would have happened to me just because of my personality and how I am. More of a peacemaker, making sure everybody around me is okay, rather than the guy that's out there looking for trouble. And
Yeah.
then mind you, I'm not from the Seattle area. So long story short, the nightclub starts. I'm at front of the bar, just kind of standing over there, and then the lights come on. I look at my watch, like, man, why are they closing so early? I feel like we just got here, so it had to be around 1:45 in the morning. Mind you, I got there at 12:15. So about 1:45, the lights is coming on. They normally close at 2. So I'm like, closing a little bit early. Something's not right. Come to find out, it was a guy in the club attacking women. I didn't know that
Oh,
because where I was standing in the club, and it's a big area. So it was like I was near the bar. And then if you go like kind of maybe 10 feet, like 5 yards, and then you turn left or right, it's like so big you can go in different directions. So something was going on closer to the exit on the other side of the nightclub. But once again, I didn't know what was going on. Nightclub ending, I'm walking up the stairs. uh and in mind you, the group of people that I went out that night is not a group, like, don't get me wrong, these are my friends, people that I hang out with, but this is never a group that I actually go out with. Like, they'll normally meet me in the area, and then
Oh,
like we'll have a table, we'll hang out, but this is never the core group of people that I ride with and go out with. So that was already kind of like a red flag to me, in a sense, like, well, I'm going out with this group of people, even though they're my friends, just like never go out with them. I never go out with them, like never go out. So then I come out the nightclub, I see four of my female friends, two of them I went to college with, one was a sister, and then the other one was a friend of the girls. Something I did a million times back in college, and then even after college, is let me walk you ladies to the car. I'm 6'4", 205 pounds, ex-football player. In my mind, no one's gonna bother me, but then at the same time, I'm not bothering anybody, so I feel like I'm all right just to walk the ladies to the car. And
were
then I
they
had a
all in
buddy.
different cars?
No, they were all in the same car,
In the
but
same
I
car?
just
Okay.
decided to just walk them to their car.
Yeah.
But ironically, like, when you come out the nightclub, if you go 2 blocks to the right is where their car was at, and then my car was 2 blocks to the left. So I have a buddy from Seattle who never leaves my side when we go out, because he's always the DD, and we always be in my car. So he wants to stay closer to me because he have my car. And then I'm being lazy for some reason this particular night. So I'm like, hey, go get the car, meet me at the ladies' car, and then we'll go from there. And he was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I'm literally just going up the block. Like, in my mind, nothing's gonna happen. And he's like, all right, I'll be there. I'll be right back. So he runs off, and then probably 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds later, we walking up the street, and then one of the ladies was like, oh my God, there he is. And I'm like, well, there who is? The guy that was attacking women in the club. I was like, well, let's get out of his way. So we kind of veered off towards the sidewalk, like towards the curb, kind of walking along the cars, and the guy was up against the wall, up under like the store, like right in front of a store that was closed down because of the time of the night. But he was like, just a nice gap between us, and then we're walking. He threatened one of the girls, and then I told him just keep walking, and then he threatened me. I just looked in his direction. I didn't say a word. I just continued to I kind of brushed it off, continue to walk away. So as I'm walking away, his talking begins to get louder. So, I turned around. He's probably like maybe 2 to 3 feet in front of me. Put my hands up in the defensive position, like, hey, listen, I don't want any trouble. Just trying to make sure the ladies get home safe. Everybody get home safe. We exchanged some words, and then we got into a fist fight. He attacked me. So I defended myself. I left him knocked unconscious, and in my mind, it's even more of like, I need to really get the girls to the car now because of what just happened. Not thinking anything for my safety, because I'm thinking like, he's no longer a threat to me. I'm good. So I confirmed he was asleep. He's not going to get up anytime soon unless somebody wakes him up. I turned around to walk away, and then one of his buddies was standing there in plain sight, but I didn't know that. Opened fire, let off 15 gunshots with a 9 millimeter. 11 of them hit me, which pretty much put me in my wheelchair. My spinal cord is actually fine. It was just I was shot in a nerve pocket to the right of my spine, which is confusing my brain to make my legs work. However, at the end of the day, I'm thankful to be alive. I would do the same thing 9 out of 10 times. I wouldn't wish for the same result. The hardest thing about being in a wheelchair for me is knowing that I was a former two star athlete.
How
Yeah.
and
So
how do you get hit? How do you get shot 11 times and you're still alive?
I agree with you. I'm still in disbelief sometime as well, because I had a best friend back in 2008. He was actually killed. He was shot one time. My cousin, I looked up to him because he reminded me so much of me, laid back, quiet, just work, stay out the way. He ended up getting shot one time when I was growing up.
Oh,
So that kind of took me for a spin, because it's just like that could have been me. And then fast forward, he was shot in, well, let me see, I was a sophomore in college, so that would have been 2011. No, that was no, because I graduated in 2012, so that would have been 2009. He was shot, and then I took it hard because it's just like, he doesn't bother anybody, keeps himself. And then I'm like, that could have been me. And then look at it, you fast forward to January 16th, 2017, I actually get shot 11 times, but I survived. So I don't know how I survived or why I survived. I'm here for a reason. I just got to figure out what that reason is. But I mean, I wake up every day with a smile on my face and continue to move forward in life. I can't let the wheelchair hold me back from anything in life, because if you look at it, I'm still going to be here regardless. So what am I supposed to do? Just sulk, lay in the house and be upset with my situation, or go out and try to live my best life knowing how short life could be. Normally it's just a saying, life's so short. Everybody says it, everybody understands it, but until you actually go through something tragic, it's the meaning for you would actually change, because it actually changed for me. So now
I
I
bet.
decided to live my life like it's my last day. Like I feel like I'm put on this earth not to work forever, 365 days out there, or take it back, you get 2 weeks off out of a year. I feel like for me personally, I rather work 2 weeks out the year and then live my best life the rest of the time. So that's my goal. So I'm trying to find a way to manage to be financially free in order to have that opportunity to see the world, because I personally know how short life is. Because if you
Yes.
think about it, one day I'm jumping in negative 10-degree weather, next day I'm waking up in the hospital 36 hours or so later, and the only thing I can say to myself, excuse my language, is holy shit, I'm alive. I look at the hospital
Yeah.
ceiling, I got a tube in my mouth, my arm is in a sling. I know what happened to me, but I don't know what happened to me. You know what I mean? The circumstances of my total injury. And then within an hour of me waking up, they removed the tube where I'm able to talk. The first thing I did was apologize to my closest friends and family that was in the room, because I'm the rock of the family, of the group. And for me
Oh,
to actually be hurt, it's like now you guys always need me, but now I don't realize how much I'm going to need you guys to get
yeah.
me through this tough time in my life. And then, mind you, I still didn't know that I probably would never walk again at the time, because when you wake up in the hospital, you don't try to get out the bed. It was just, I'm just laying there kind of like trying to process everything that's
Yeah.
going on.
Do you
And
remember going to the hospital?
I
Or were you when this happened to you, were you unconscious?
in it, I was in and out. So I remember everything. I remember when I got shot. I remember I was laying on the ground. I was laying on the left side of my face, looking up an alleyway.
And
And
your
then I remember,
friend, your friend was getting the car at the time,
yes.
right?
So
So
he
did
wasn't
he find you?
he found me, but when he found me, I was in the back of the ambulance. He didn't
Oh,
know where
geez.
I was at the time, because he heard the gunshots. He was calling my phone. I never answered. He had
Oh,
never in a million years he thought it was me that was shot, but he found me in the back of the ambulance, and then he followed the ambulance to the hospital. I was laying, like I said, on the left side of my face, looking up an alley. I remember one of the security guards, he's an ex-military vet. He was like putting my body in a certain position on the floor,
oh,
saying, I'm an ex-military vet. I seen this injuries like this before, and he was like, he was talking to me, but still kind of adjusting my body. I didn't feel anything. I just knew I couldn't get up. And then one of my other friends, not the one who was getting the car, who just I went to college with and just happened to be there, was like slapping me in the face because I would close my eyes. I was
oh,
closing my eyes, and when I was like having a conversation with myself. It wasn't like I was closing my eyes because I was like fading away or blacking out. It was like I was closing my eyes to think like I lived my whole life being in a like being good, like never any injuries, never nothing happened. And now for some reason I'm hurt, but I can't seem to get my body up. Like I don't know if I was in shock, but all I could move was my head. And then I remember him slapping me, like, get the F up. And I'm like, yo, stop slapping me. So me and him having a full on argument,
yeah.
because he
Oh
thinks I'm
my
like blacking
gosh.
out, but he's slapping me and I feel the slaps. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, yo, yeah, stop slapping me. Get up, get up. I'm like, I can't. Like, I don't know why I can't. And then I kind of blacked out. And then I remember being in the back of the ambulance.
Plus,
And
you
then I
probably
remember
lost
seeing,
a lot of blood, right?
I did,
I mean,
I did. However, I
that's
got
a
to
lot of times.
from the time, which is ironic, is from the time that I was shot to the time that I was put in the back of the ambulance and getting to the hospital was all in like an 11-minute span. Like it was so fast. I don't know, like what they told me. I couldn't process time at that time. But what they told me is like from the time you were shot to the time you was in the ambulance to the time you got to the hospital, all was in like 11-minute span that all happened and I got there. But I remember my friend who's driving the car at the time, he was in the back of the ambulance and I tried to tell him to get in. The ambulance people didn't let him. No, he can't come in. So he followed the car in my car to the hospital. And then I remember being in the hospital itself. It's like I saw him. And then I remember the people in the car were saying my name wrong, and I was correcting them. They was like Alden. I was like, no, it's Alden, not Alden. It's spelled. And then I remember saying it's spelled like Alden, but it's not Alden. And then
You're
they said
having this
okay,
conversation and
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so weird.
correcting people. That's
And then I
hilarious.
kind of blacked out. I blacked out again, and then I remember being in the on the hospital bed now, right before they took me to surgery. I had a white sheet over me, which was obviously a little red. It was red because I was losing so much blood. And I
Yeah.
remember my sister coming in, I guess, see me, like they brought her in, I guess, to confirm that it's me. And I remember that she stopped, froze at the door, and she was just bawling.
Oh, I
And then I
bet.
remember telling her to come closer to me, and I remember reaching my arm up and wiping a tear from underneath her eye and telling her, it's
Oh.
okay, I'll be all right. And
Oh.
then, mind you, I still don't know my situation. Like all of this is just I'm hurt, you're crying, I'm gonna be okay. And then probably like 36 hours, I think, 30 something hours later, I was in 13 surgeries, was shot 11 times, and I woke up and only thing I saw was the hospital ceiling, and my first words was, "Holy shit, I'm alive."
You are so lucky to be alive. I just
Yeah,
can't.
I don't know how. It's a reason why. I just got to find out what that reason is. But like every day for me is a blessing because I could think about, like I said, my cousin and my best friend. Just not with them being shot once and not being here. It's just ironic that I'm here after 11, and I
Yeah.
don't know what's the difference between me and them or what made me survive. Like I don't really know.
How long were you in the hospital?
102 days.
Well, you count the days, right?
Oh yeah,
100, not just three
yeah.
months, but like 102 days.
102 days, and then I remember getting out the day that I got out April 29th, 2017. I got out around 2, or was it noon? I think it was 2 o'clock, but come to find out I could have left earlier. Like, but
Oh,
I didn't know, no, like I was leaving that day, but I could have chose an earlier time. But
oh,
when you sit and meet with the doctors and say we have a release date for you. The only thing is, in order for you to be released, you have to be moving into an accessible apartment, or you're going to a nursing home. So I
oh.
literally in my hospital bed found an apartment. My sister went and checked it out, rented it for us.
You found it. You looked it up yourself. You're on your
Yes, I did.
computer in your hospital bed.
I was on my phone
You're on your
in my
phone
in
looking for
my hospital bed.
apartments in your hospital
Mhm.
bed.
And I found it. I sent it to my sister. She went and checked it out the same day. And then she said it looked good. She sent me some pictures, and then we rented it. And
Oh
then that
my
way I was able to get
gosh.
out the hospital. Yeah. And then we had a welcome home party, like, or kind of welcome home, but at the same time it wasn't home for me because it wasn't the home that I lived in prior to getting hurt. So it was like they moved all my stuff, they kind of set up my room, but it wasn't the way I would have set it up. So it was kind of like, I was kind of awkward about it, but I mean, hey, I made the best of it.
Hey, if you're
But now,
arguing in the ambulance about how to say your name, I can just imagine you telling everybody, can you move the TV over there? And can you
yeah,
move this over there?
it was crazy, but like I said, I made the best of it, and I was happy to be out the hospital. I'd never been to jail or prison, but it felt like if that's what it feels like being there, where I was in the hospital, because you get the 3 meals a day, and it's always the same. The menu didn't really change, so it got to the point where when I got better as time passed, and I was able to go outside and get some fresh air, we started going to like the local restaurants near Harborview just to get some better food in my system. Yeah, my
So
friends
people would
drug me
go out
down.
and get it for you, or were
No,
you
well,
going
they would
to
bring
the
me food.
restaurants?
No, I would go to the restaurant myself
Oh,
with my
while you're in
friends
the hospital, you
while
go
I was in the
out to go to
hospital.
restaurants.
I did. Yeah, I'm a rebel. I did get in
You
trouble one time
are.
though. I got in trouble one time being in the hospital, like legit in trouble. And
What
then
happened?
well, I came. So when you're in the hospital, they give you your medication. So they give you 3 times a day. I missed the third dose, the bedtime dose, because I was out at the restaurant. So then the next day, I guess they told my primary doctor at the time, I guess they told her, and then she approached me in the next morning, like, well, your insurance is going to look at it as if you're able to go out and about, you no longer need to be in the hospital. So pretty much telling me, don't let it happen again. And then the
Oh,
very next day, that morning that she told me that night, I went out and did it again. Yeah, yeah, I did. Because I felt some type of way, like I'm paying you guys. You guys are not paying me. So why do you tell me I need to be back in the hospital at a certain time? No, I'm not gonna do that. So I went out the very next night to another restaurant with my friends and came back and missed my medication again.
So, of course. So you had to learn how to use a wheelchair, or did you not know how to use one and your friends are like racing you all around town, pushing you?
Well, technically, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, as a kid, people tends to throw things out. Mattresses. So we stack the mattresses up, we flip on them. Yeah, yeah. As a kid,
Okay, where's this
I,
going?
well, so what happened is, how you throw something out. Wheelchairs used to be thrown out. So we used to get in the
What?
wheelchairs and roll around and pop wheelies. So I had a little bit of wheelchair skills prior to actually getting hurt. So I was in inpatient rehab for 2 weeks, and then they got to the point where like, hey, it's nothing more we can actually teach you. And I remember the guy, he asked me like, hey, Alden, I have a question for you. Why, why are you so good at in the wheelchair? And then I told him that story, like growing up in Brooklyn, New York, people throw things out. So as a kid, you growing up in the neighborhood, you see a wheelchair in the trash, you just take it, jump in it, and roll around with it. Me and all my friends. So I kind of had a little bit of wheelchair skills prior to actually being in a wheelchair. So yeah, I was able to pop willies. I could pop willie going forward, backwards. I could jump curves. So I knew how to do all of that prior to actually being taught with my injury.
I love that you said you had wheelchair skills.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
So what did the doctors tell you when you left? Did they so wait, let me ask this. Do
Yes,
you have any feeling in your legs or absolutely none?
it's hit or miss.
And
So it's
are
weird.
you considered paraplegic, or are you just considered you have a bad spinal injury?
No, I'm considered paraplegic. I have a T10, T11 spinal cord injury. However, I was re-diagnosed to an L2, so that just means I
Okay.
can feel lower than my initial injury. However,
You can feel what?
my lower. So originally I couldn't feel past my hips. Now I can.
Oh, you
So
can now?
over the time I was able to gather more feeling. However, like
Oh,
if my feet and my legs, sometime I can feel certain things, sometime
oh,
I can't. So it's times where if I'm not paying attention and you like touch like hit my leg, sometime I won't even know that you're doing it. And then it's sometime if you do it, I'll look and say, hey, you just touched my leg, didn't you? So it's hit or miss. So I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like I can't explain why sometime I can, why sometime I can't.
yeah.
But yeah, I do walk with leg braces in the walker.
Oh, you can.
I can. So my leg braces is able to lock in place, and it's kind of more of like hip swings in a sense where I'm able to just kind of walk and cruise a little bit. I do go downstairs to the gym in my apartment building with my wife, and then we kind of work out a little bit, things like that. So it's just hit or miss
So
as
you
far as
wear the
feeling.
leg braces to go work out,
Yes,
and
because
and
when
then
I use the walking as a part of my routine, like as a workout routine.
that would be a routine, wouldn't it? It probably takes a
Yes,
lot to do
it
that.
does.
Did you
It actually
say
does.
you go downstairs?
Yes, that's
So
why my
you're
apartment building.
walking
No, no,
with
no.
leg braces?
No, I would roll in my wheelchair to the gym. But it's sometimes I'll walk up and down my hallway, or I have done it before. Walk in my hallway here just to kind of, because it's more of a like it's a long hallway, so it gives me ability to get further distances rather than trying to maneuver around in the house. Because in my apartment it's not that big, but the hallways are really long. So the
So
hallways is
so you
probably.
so it's is it a ramp, or I mean, like how, like you're upstairs? How do you get downstairs?
Oh no, I have elevator.
Okay,
So
I
I
was
know.
gonna say, do you have an
Yeah.
elevator? But I know
Yeah.
how fearless you are, so I'm thinking maybe you just roll down the stairs. I
Uh,
don't
no,
know.
I can go downstairs. I can't go upstairs. So if I'm going downstairs, I go backwards. As long as my arms are able to
What?
hold on to each railing, I can go down one step at a time backwards.
Wait a minute. In your wheelchair?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Do they teach
But I,
you this? Or did you just
uh,
like go, I'm just doing this and I'm gonna
I
figure it out?
watched it. I watched the YouTube video.
A
So
YouTube.
majority, yeah, the majority of the stuff that I actually do, I actually like. For instance, when I drive, I was able to learn how to drive by figuring out. I YouTube like maybe disability driving or driving. How do you drive with the when you're in a wheelchair? And I found a video, and it was just a guy said some portable hand pedals. I found them on Amazon Prime. I ordered them, $269. 2 days later, they were at the house. So I just hooked them up in my car, and I've been driving ever since. So I do a lot of YouTube videos with certain things. Like for instance, me and my wife plan on buying a house at some point in time. I personally don't want to rancher because I want upstairs and downstairs. But at the same time, if I'm in a wheelchair, how do I get upstairs? So
Right.
I've been looking at videos. So I seen a guy and his girlfriend. He got out his wheelchair, got on the steps, and then he went up on his hands one at a time while his lady held his legs, and he kind of got up the stairs. So we done that. Well, we can do that. Going downstairs, I go backwards. I just YouTube a lot of different things and figure out like, okay, I can do that, and then I'll go do it.
Boy, you could have your own YouTube channel teaching all these people how to do these things.
Yeah, up and
So
down in the mall, I take the escalators as well. Like when
you
we're in the
what?
mall, yeah, I go up or down escalators. If the elevator line is too long, I just go to the escalator. And then every time I get on the escalator, someone compliments me for being me. Like, oh man, you're amazing, or I've never seen this done before. I can't believe you're doing this. Somebody's always have something positive to say to me based off what they see me do, because you don't expect certain things like that. Someone in the wheelchair actually getting on the escalator, hey, the elevator line is too long. Or for instance, being in the mall during the holiday season, it's really busy. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to it's a longer process if I'm waiting for an elevator. If it's especially with COVID going on, they got maybe four
Yeah.
people in the elevator at once. So now it's four people go, I gotta wait, and then the elevator, I gotta wait for it to come back. I don't have the patience for that. So I would just go get on the escalator.
So did you say you get on? So you're going, do you go up and down the escalator?
Yes,
Well,
when
you
I'm going
must
up,
because you have to go to work.
yes. When I
So do
go
you
up
go on
the
it
escalator,
backwards
going
or
down is backwards.
going down? Backwards?
Going up is like just normal, straightforward. Like I'm facing the escalator when I'm
Oh
going
yeah.
up. When I'm going down, I would get backwards and then slowly roll my chair to make sure I catch on to the steps. And then I just hold on to the sides and go all the way down. And when I get to the end, I just push back, like the roll back off the escalator.
Wasn't that scary when you first tried
What
it?
the first time I actually did it, yes, it was. I remember the first time I did it, I was in Vegas for one of my best friend's birthday. And the elevator was so we're all walking, I'm rolling. Well, they're all walking, I'm rolling. And then the elevator was like way on the opposite side of like where we were going. It's just
Yeah.
like that's a detour for me. Y'all taking the escalator, I'm gonna take it. And the girls in my group, they was like, I'm not watching this. So they went ahead and didn't look back. And then the guys that were with me was kind of near me just to make sure, and I just did it. Like just jumped on the escalator and went down. It's easy. And then from that day on, I just knew like I would fearless. I would always take an escalator if I have to.
Gosh. Okay, next time I come to the Apple store, you have to come demonstrate this for me.
Oh yeah,
I'll try not to
definitely.
freak out
Yeah, no,
watching
I can do
this.
that because we
That's,
got the escalator right to the side, right there. Technically, I guess if you're facing the Apple Store, right there to the right. So we definitely can do that.
I could just see you saying, "Hey, I'll be right back. I got to go show somebody my trick." And they go,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay,
Oh
there's
yeah.
customers, but that's all right. You go ahead and
Oh
do your
yeah.
thing."
No, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll be right back. And then they'll say, okay, they don't really bother me too much. I don't know. They just leave me be. So I just do what I do.
Boy, you are the most inspiring person I think I've ever met.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be like I don't know what I'm here for. If it's to inspire others, then
Yeah,
by all means, that's what I'm more than happy to do it. I'm friendly, my personality, I could talk with anyone. So, it's endless opportunities.
yeah. You must have thousands of friends. I mean, you must. You have such an energy about you.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I get told chatty Cathy is what I get called if I'm talking when it's time to go or I'm talking to too many people. But I'm just not gonna leave the conversation. Like if we're in an interaction, I'm gonna interact. I'm not gonna be like, all right, gotta go. Let's finish the conversation, then we could go.
So I wanted to ask you, what did the doctors tell you about your condition, and what do they say?
So that's you're actually the second person ever to ask me this question, and then this is gonna be the second time I'm ever answering it. Because no one really knew about it, so I never said anything about it. The first time I mentioned it was when I was in the court, when the guy who actually shot me was on trial, and the defense attorney for the state of Washington asked me that question. I wasn't upset with her for asking me the question. I don't know. She asked that question at the perfect time, which kind of sold the deal for the guy who actually shot me. However, to answer the question, when I first woke up out of my coma, because they incubated me because I wasn't in a coma. They pretty much kept me to sleep while they did all this surgery for my body to heal, and then woke me up later. And then they had all my closest friends and family around me in the room. And then the doctor said exact words before we start: "Is there any questions or anything anyone needs to say?" No one said anything. This is when I actually discovered that I have a possibility I'll never walk again, but I didn't notice at the time. And then the doctor said what she said, and then she said, so I have a 2% chance of ever walking again on my own power. So
2%?
2%. So when she said that to me, like I was crushed because I'm a two sports star athlete. So for someone to tell me being as active as I was, I would never be able to do that again. I stopped her right there. Like I didn't even let her talk anymore. I pretty much told her, "You're not God. You can't tell me what I can and can't do." I had percentages against me my whole life. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I was told I'll never make it to 18. I'll be dead or in jail before 18 or 21. I'll never graduate high school. I'll never graduate college. And then all of those percentages against me, I blew those out the box. So this is just another challenge that you're giving me that I'm going to prove to you that I'm going to blow out the box. And it's she had the like a look on her face like in shock that wow, he just really said that. And then I also told her, you study medicine, you don't actually know, so you can't say I will walk in and you can't say I can't, so you're just going to give me a percentage, but that percentage means nothing to me. And then she said, well, okay, is there anything else I could like you guys need? Because his mind is made up is that he's gonna walk again regardless on anything, and that's good. So I have no more to say, and no one said nothing else. And then she walked out the room. But the percentage I got was 2%. But
2%.
I was also told I would never walk with leg braces in a walker as well, and I do that. So I'm assuming
Really?
if I was at 2%, I'm probably at 36% now because I'm
Yeah.
able to do that.
So is there any therapy that you get on your legs?
I don't at the currently. I was originally doing outpatient rehab at Harborview, and then I outgrew the therapy that they was providing. And then I ended up moving to a therapy place in Redmond called Pushing Boundaries. I was there probably what I've been hurt 5.5 years. So I was there maybe 2 straight years, but this was paying out of pocket. And when I say I was paying an arm and a leg, I really was paying an arm and a leg. So pretty much all the training that I got from them for the 2 years, I'm able to go to the gym and do it on my own without their
Oh,
assistance, and then I get to save my money. So currently, I'm not in any therapy right now.
okay. And what about did you ever feel like were you ever really discouraged and felt like giving up?
I never was discouraged enough to feel like giving up because I look at it as I'm going to be here regardless. So what am I going to do with it?
I
The
love it.
only time I actually when it actually hit me was I was in the hospital, and then the nurse was coming in and he was doing something with my legs. And then it's something called muscle atrophy. Muscle atrophy is when you don't use the muscles, you lose the muscle. My calves was like really like they were big. And then as he was moving my leg, I realized how small my calf was. And I was like, you know, I forgot what his name was. I was like, why is my calf so small? And then he was like, "Oh, it's because muscle atrophy." I was like, "Well, what is
Yeah.
that?" And he explained to me is when you don't use the muscles, you lose it. And then that's when it really hit me, like, wow, like I'm losing all of like my lower half is really like losing all its muscle. Mind you, I was all muscle prior to getting hurt. I was what,
Yeah.
205 pounds, maybe 8% body fat. So I was really just muscular. And now I'm losing this all, and this that really hit me. But I never in my mind had it, I'm gonna give up. Like I always knew I gotta figure out how to get these legs to work, how to get the muscle back, whatever it takes.
So
So
if you
I,
can't feel your legs, how do you work your legs? Or you are working your legs, right?
uh, I would sit on a
Somehow.
bike. I would sit on a bike, and what the bike is, I'm kind of using my hands to get the legs to go.
Uh,
It's
oh.
like a like in physical therapy, they have like a little bike that you'll sit on and you'll kind of pump your arms, and then it
Oh
make
yeah,
the
I've done
legs
that
like if you
before.
yeah. So that's but it
And that's
doesn't.
getting your legs to go when you're moving your arms.
Yes, yes, but it doesn't correlate to gaining the muscle back. The only way
Right.
to gain the muscle back is when I get the feeling, but I don't have the feeling now. So
So
I
you
don't
can't
know
get the
if
muscle back without the feeling.
correct.
Okay.
If it's
That makes
my
sense.
understanding, it's my understanding of the whole process. But they come out with new like technology every day.
Yeah.
As of May 5th, they had something where they were testing in rats, where they were able to do the experiment on a rat, and the rat was able to gain some muscle back. So hopefully, human trials should start soon. They do all type of things. They got something going on in Thailand where they doing like stem cell treatments in the spine that can
Oh,
help patients get their like they get start walking again. However, all of that is like it's if I decided to do something like that, it's like a risk that I'm taking because it's not like FDA approved. It's not
right.
happening in the States, but it's like I'm going out of the country to get some sort of miracle to happen. Uh I haven't really looked into that or the prices of that because it's just kind of like I mean, I would love to do it because I look at it this way: what's the worst that can happen? You
Right.
know, if I go and get it and it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, I don't think you can. I don't think my situation could get any worse than it is.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you always researching
Yes. Every day.
every day?
Every day I'm looking up something to figure out something. Or my wife, she's heavy on it. Like she doesn't waste time. She's on it faithfully. She's on it probably every hour.
Every hour.
Yeah, it gotta
Wow.
be. Yeah, she's gotta be because she always sends me things, and then I'll look into certain things. But me, I'm not as much as she's doing it, you know. But she does it like my dad does it, like the family, like everybody. If they come
Oh,
across something, they'll send me a link or send me a video or send me some motivational something just to kind of keep me going. But I feel like I'm gonna keep going regardless, just because who I am and my personality.
yeah.
And yeah,
You have a great support network.
I actually do. You want to know something? What's ironic? I was in the hospital, like I said, 102 days. I did not spend one night alone up until the last week. Someone stayed the night with me they had a schedule. My friends had a schedule. Someone stayed with me in the hospital every single day because when I first got hurt and I came out of the coma, the medication that I was on had me hallucinating and I thought someone was out to still get me. So they came up with a schedule and someone spent the night with me every single night
Oh,
for 196 days for 96 days at least because the last week I stayed alone.
you did. And why was
Yes.
that?
I just made a decision. I don't need anybody to stay anymore. I'm good now. You
Okay.
know, I'm getting out the hospital next week. I'll be okay. But yeah,
Boy, you are
every
blessed to
single
have all
night.
those friends and family that did that for you. And they're all
Yeah.
researching for you too.
Yeah, just coming across anything. I mean, you name it, like just anything. Like they see someone that's in a wheelchair that's doing like bodybuilding or playing sports or anything. They send me videos, links, and things like that. And as far as the links and things that I look up, it's more of like not cures, but like what are they doing now with medicine to try to help spinal cord injury patients? Uh, I don't know if stem cell treatment would be the best treatment for me. I would hope so because my nerves just need to regenerate. That's the only thing. My spinal cord is fine, my nerves is not. So if we're able to generate the nerves with some sort of treatment, that'd be ideal. But yeah.
So I know that you're fearless and you can do all kinds of things in your wheelchair. Is there something you haven't done yet that you want to try?
Uh that I haven't done,
Yeah.
I would love to go skydiving. I don't know why. I
Gee,
just
why didn't I think of that? Of course you did.
yeah, why not? Like I mean, when you realize life is short, when one like I said, I keep going back to this. One day I'm jumping in -10 degree weather with my friend, my best friend. Next day I'm in the hospital. It's just like life is too short. I got to live it best to my ability. So most people like, hey, I'm never going skydiving. Why not? Let's do it. You know, I would love to go skydiving. But for the most part, I mean, I feel like you said, I'm in a sense fearless. I'm not really scared of anything. What is gonna happen is gonna happen. But yeah,
Okay,
skydiving is
so when
probably
when
on
do
my
you want to
bucket
do
list.
this?
Skydiving
Yeah.
as soon as possible, if you ask me.
Well, so when? Like, let's give me a date. When do you want to do it by?
I, my next day off, if I had a chance, I'll do it Saturday.
I'd like to come watch. So
Yeah,
if you do this, can I come watch?
sure.
Oh, you'll have a crowd watching you. I'm sure you have a million
I
friends.
I don't know. They'd probably be too scared. Maybe they'll meet me at the wherever the landing point is. But as far as the actual seeing the whole process, no, they're not going for it. To be honest, I don't think none of my friends will. I'm sure I could convince one or two to do it with me. But for the most part, I mean, I'll do it alone if I have to.
I want to wait at the bottom for you and get it all on video and then
Okay.
interview you when you're done. How are you feeling?
Okay.
I'm feeling great. Let's go do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be a nice adrenaline rush. It's going to be fun. I don't know. Something about it.
Is there something else you want to do besides skydiving that's a little less risky?
Just
I wouldn't
random.
want to go skydiving.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to travel the world on a yacht. I don't know why. I just feel like that's just the way to go.
Okay.
I don't know. It's always been something like I don't even really like the water like that. I can swim, but I just like if I was ever to become a millionaire, I'd just buy a yacht and travel the world. And I don't know why. Just do it.
I know you have another thing that you did, another kind of little job that you
Oh,
do. Tell us about that.
I got a little side gig, a little modeling that I do.
Modeling.
Yes, it's so random how it came about. I do enjoy it. I'm still new to it, so when I go to like photo shoots and things like that, I'm kind of like a little timid because I don't necessarily know what to do. So I always let the photographer know, like, hey, you tell me what to do, I'll do it, and then it's kind of been working well for me. So I did a couple photo shoots as well as some like internal commercials and things like that. But yeah, I actually enjoy it. So I got a little side gig of modeling.
And you're going to continue that, you think?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
are people
Maybe trying
calling
to.
you now? Are you like all booked up to do modeling?
Well, I got an agency, so they go through the agency gets the information and they'll reach out to me and then ask me if there's something I'm willing to do. And then for the most part, I said yes to everything so far that they brought to me, just because. Why not?
Why not? So
Why not?
did somebody approach you and then you became a model, or did you go sign up with an agency and said, I want to be a model? I've never
Uh,
done this before. It doesn't sound very risky, but so can I be a model? I mean, how did that happen? How did you become a
uh,
model?
I was sitting at work, and this is when prior to Apple actually being open for all guests, we were in like a phase where we had the doors kind of closed and you have to get checked in before you actually enter the store. We had like a max capacity of probably like 52 people in the store, including team members. I had a gentleman that approached me, like he's looking at eye contact with me. I'm seeing him, he's seeing me. He's walking like in my direction, so I meet him in the middle, like, hey, how you doing today? He told me what his name was, said his name was Todd Eckelman, and then he wanted to show me his portfolio, right? So I'm like, okay. And he's showing me all of the work that he does, and then he lets me know he's a photographer and that he wanted to shoot me if possible. He said he had an upcoming photo shoot for Doc Martin, and he would love to use me as one of the models for his shoot. So me being me, I was like, yeah, why not? You know, I didn't ask how much you're charging. I just was excited because in my mind I'm thinking Doc Martin is like a big brand. You taking pictures of me, I'm gonna be on a billboard for Doc Martin. You know, I'm just thinking outside the box. So he a couple weeks later he calls me like, hey, we're gonna do the photo shoot downtown Seattle near the Space Needle. This is the address. So I shows up, do the photo shoot, and then after the photo shoot was over, he was like, you know, that's a wrap. And he said like randomly, like, hey, Alden, I have a question for you. He said you never once asked me how much I'm charging for this photo shoot. I was like, yeah, I know. He was like, well, why not? You don't care about the money? I was like, well, no, it's not that I don't care about the money. I just care more about getting my face on a billboard or a cover of a magazine, a website. And he starts laughing like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny, but it will be on like the some of their websites and things like that. I said, oh, well, that works for me. And he said, and I was charging you $100 an hour. So now my mind is just blown because I'm like, you know, working in retail, you know, you getting well, Apple pays fairly well. However, I'm thinking they don't pay $100 an hour though. So I'm thinking, wow, $100 an hour for just, you know, and I only work 2 hours with them. So now I got all of these photos that they sent to me and told me don't post anything until they post. till Doc Martin posts, and then they reached out to me via email like, hey, you can post whatever you want. Doc Martin's already post you. Send me a couple
Oh,
links of where to find my picture. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm thinking, for the money, I would love to do this modeling like full time if possible. Like, where do I go from here? And then I kid you not, maybe 6 weeks later, once again, I'm sitting in the mall. I'm on my 15-minute break. I'm sitting outside of Woods Coffee. I'm on FaceTime with one of my buddies and I'm just talking trash. And then a lady walks up to me. She said, how you doing? My name is Terry. I am the owner of the TCM modeling agency. And have you ever thought about giving modeling a shot? So as she said
oh
that,
my
my eyes lit
goodness.
up because I'm like, I just literally did this photo shoot. So I enjoyed it. So as a matter of fact, I would love to be a model. And then I told her what I'd done in the past, like recently. And then she said, okay, well, email me and then we could go from there. So she had me email her later that night, my height, my weight, my shoe size, like my arm, like all of my like measurements. Sends her an email and then she has me come to the office like 2 weeks later, and then I signed the contract. So now I'm actually a signed model for the next 2 years. I'm 2 years under contract.
What a story. You need to
Yeah.
keep hanging out at the mall.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, because I mean, since I've been hurt, nothing but positive things been happening. So, I mean, I'm thankful for that. Like I said, I'm thankful to be here. I know before I got hurt, I was my character traits. I have a lot of character traits, but I like to go with these three is like my main prior
Okay.
to getting hurt: cocky, confident, arrogant.
Oh,
However, I'm still those three, but I'm also humble, empathetic, and patient. I wasn't those before.
oh,
So,
you
but
weren't
no,
really?
I wasn't. So, getting hurt kind of enhanced my character traits a lot more. Made me see things from a different lens. So, I mean, I'm able to empathize with anyone. I can relate to certain situations, good, bad, because I've been a part of all of it. But yeah, so I guess I do need to start hanging out the mall a little bit more.
Oh, so what can you say to encourage others that sometimes become victims of their own circumstances? What could you say to these people?
I just tell them it's all about their confidence. Like, don't let your situation, like for instance, I could use me being in a wheelchair as an example. Every time I go to Harbor View for like a checkup or something, I might see a nurse or doctor or a physical therapist in there, and they'll say, "Hey, I have a patient that's not handling their situation as well as you did. Would you like? Can you talk to them for me?" So I'll say, "Sure." I'll go talk to them and then I just let them know like nothing's changed. The only thing is everything you're doing now is different. It's not how it used to be. Like for instance, you're rolling, you're not walking. When you fly, you can't walk to your seat. You'll roll yourself to the front of the plane. You'll transfer into a airplane chair and they'll take you to your seat. But you can still do these things. So I just try to instill confidence in them. Just let them know nothing's changed. You still who you are, like you could still do everything that you did prior to getting hurt. It just looks different. And once they realize that, everything will be okay.
Is your new career going to be a motivational speaker, do you think? Or do you want to be
I,
one
I,
day?
I do. I do. To be honest, I do. I just don't know what steps I need to take in order to become that. Like that's where I'm at right now.
Is
I
that
just
what you
got to
want to
figure
do?
out.
Do you want to do that in your life?
It's not that I want to do it, but I'm not against doing it. I feel like it's something I have stories to tell. So getting out there and being able to share my stories with, everyone, in regards to gun violence, living with disabilities, just any and everything. I probably already been experienced it or been through it. So just being able to encourage others, I'm not
Yes.
against. I just don't know what steps do I need to take. Like how do I get my first opportunity to do public speaking? You know what I mean? Like, who do I need to get in contact with? Or do I need to have something in writing for someone to analyze and go over before I get the opportunity to do it? I don't know those steps, but that's something I'm not against. I
Well,
do like the
somebody will find you in the mall, I'm sure.
yeah
They'll
yeah
come
that's
find you. Hey, would you like to be a public speaker? Really? Okay. Yeah, I would.
yeah
Yes.
yeah. And I'm an open book. You ask, yeah, sure. I mean, any opportunity to help others, I'm always for it.
So what else do you want to do? Is there anything else you want to do?
Uh
Career wise or fun wise? I mean,
Oh, not really. I mean, I just take it one day at a time because, like I said, tomorrow is not promised. So whatever comes my way, I'll do it, because like I said, tomorrow's not promised, and I know that. Like, 1 minute I'm in the pool, in the water, and the next minute I'm in the hospital. Like, anything can happen in the blink of an eye. You can go off a bed and drive your car, get into a car accident, not make it out. Like, so anything can happen. So,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever comes my way, if it's an opportunity to inspire others or to better my life or my situation, I'm all for it.
Have you gone back to where this happened ever?
Oh yeah, I drive past it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh, I gotta stay away from this area. When
Right.
the first time
I mean, you don't
I
have, do you go back and have PTSD about it, or
I
are
want to
you
say maybe the
okay?
very first time. The very first time was when my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, we were driving
Oh,
past it. She didn't know the exact location, but she was just randomly driving in this direction, and I was like, I got shot right there.
oh,
And then she was like, really? Like, are you okay? And it was just kind of like, it brought back the memory of that night,
of
and
course.
then me wishing I never went out that night, but at the same time, what's done is done.
Yeah. Well, you sound like you enjoy your life. No
I do.
matter what the circumstance, you enjoy your life.
Have to. Like, in my opinion, I feel like you have to. Like,
You choose
got to
to.
make the yeah, you choose to, you got to make the best of whatever opportunity is afforded to you. And then in my current situation, I got the second chance of life, so I have to live every day like it's my last and enjoy it, every moment of it, take it all in.
Your family must be so proud of you.
Yeah, when you say that, I never really like thought about it, but they really are, and I can tell. But the goal is just to continue to make them proud.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I remember you said you were talking to me when we were in the store, and you said you don't like it when people help you. Talk about
Yes.
that.
Like, if something was to fall on the floor next to me, if I dropped it, I would rather pick it up because I don't want uh it's in everyone's nature to assist someone with a disability if they see
Yes.
they might be struggling with something, and I totally understand that. I'm thankful with when they do. Like, my goal is to beat you. Like, if I drop something, my goal is to beat you to it. I would say thank you for the for extending a hand, but I got it, But if it's my family, I would straight up tell them, don't handicap me. If it's my mom, my wife, my brother, my sister, I drop something on the floor, they go to pick it up, don't handicap me. I got it. You know what I mean? Because I don't really necessarily need help. I understand you want to help me, but as family, I'll tell them, don't handicap me. Someone, a random stranger in the street, I'll tell them, thank you, I appreciate it. If they beat me to the item that I drop, I'm gonna be thankful. Even though
Yeah.
I went for it, I'm still thankful for them lending the hand. And then just being in a grocery store, I randomly recently the other day actually asked someone for assistance. I was reaching the milk at the top of the shelf. I was only able to twist it and turn it, but I couldn't get it forward to let it fall off the shelf for me to catch it. And then a guy was walking by. I didn't see any of the workers in the store, and it was just a random guy just food shopping. And he was coming in my direction. Not even he didn't even, I don't think he noticed me. And I was like, "Excuse me, sir, I have a question for you." He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Do you think it's possible for you to get this milk off the top shelf for me? I keep turning it, but I can't get it forward." He's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Like, they'll do it. Anyone to do it in a drop of a hat, but I don't really necessarily ask for help. So if I'm in a grocery store with a family member or friend, I would wait for them to get to where I'm at and then get them to get it for me rather
Yeah.
than asking for help. But I was alone this day, so it's either go find a worker or just ask whoever the closest person is to me. And like I said, they'll help me with no problems.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
when I'm getting in my car, and I'm breaking my wheelchair down, getting it ready to get in the car. If someone see me doing that, they'll come over like, "Hey, can I give you a hand?" I'll tell them, "No, thank you. I appreciate it." But I still would do it on my own. It was only one time I told someone no, but they helped me anyway. It was because it was a guy and his girlfriend. I guess she saw me and told him, "Hey, go help him." And
Yeah.
her boyfriend got out the car and he came to help me. So when he asked me for my help, I told him no, thank you. And he was like, "Nah, man, I gotta help you. My girl and made me get out this car." So I was like, "Okay, okay." So he helped me, but she made him get out, and I didn't want to make it seem like, "Oh, you got out for nothing." So I allowed him to help me. But yeah, normally I just say no, thank you. I have it.
There's a lot of nice people willing to help you.
It is. I must say it is, like, more than you think. Like, with anyone. anyone. Like get out my car if I'm going to pump my gas. Somebody approach me, hey, can I pump it for you? You know, not even a worker, just a random stranger in the street. You know, but I always, tell them I appreciate the offer, but I got it because just like it sucks that you get out the car right there just to get right back in, to
Yeah,
pump the gas. But hey, it is what it is. I gotta do it.
that's great. I mean, I'd say yes to all that help. I
Yeah,
I can fully do everything, but I'd say yes to everything.
yeah,
Please
yeah. No,
pump
I
my
mean,
gas. Yes, I don't want
yeah.
to get out of the car.
It's
That's
not that
great.
I'm against them pumping it. If they were to
I
work
know.
it, I would allow them to. But it's just like if they're gonna pump my gas, that means I got to give you my debit card or credit card. I don't trust anybody as much anymore. What if they run off with it? I mean, yeah, I could cancel it, but it's just like let me not even put myself in that situation. I normally think positive intent from anyone, but whenever it's got anything to do with my credit cards, cash, nah, we're not gonna play that game.
Oh, God. Well, good thinking. That's
Yeah,
that's good advice for everybody.
yeah,
Well, if I'm having a bad day, can I call you?
sure you can
Okay.
anytime,
You,
anytime.
you're incredible. I'm so
Thank you.
honored that you're doing this today.
No, I'm excited. I was excited for it. Like yesterday, I was telling my wife, like, oh, I got a big day tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. She like, are you really? I was like, yeah. So I'm telling her everything I got to do. I got a doctor's appointment at 8:45. I got the podcast, Coffee with Kim at 11. And it was ironic is we've been on this WebEx. The topic of your podcast is Coffee with Kim. I haven't seen you grab a coffee yet. Not to say you don't have it next to you.
I well, it's noon.
Oh, I didn't know you can't drink after a certain
Well,
time.
hey, if Apple can only charge their computers on Tuesday, then I
Yeah,
can drink.
that's
I
funny.
had tea this morning and I'm usually
Okay,
done with it by about 10. And if I
okay,
drink coffee, it's decaf. And
okay.
I usually have to do it before noon or I can't sleep.
Got you.
So I'm
Sleep.
so
I mean,
sorry
but
that I did not
would
bring my coffee cup
won't you
to
go
show
to
you.
sleep tonight? Tonight you'll sleep. So if you drink decaf
Yeah.
at noon, you can't sleep tonight?
Yeah. I don't go to bed at 4, but
Yeah.
yeah. If I have even decaf has a little caffeine sometimes. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't sleep. I mean, I don't go to bed till
Wow.
like 9:30 or 10. I know that's
Okay.
probably early for you, but I get up at
Yeah.
5:30 to work out. So, I need my sleep, man.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, if we do this again, I'll bring some coffee just so I don't
Okay.
disappoint you.
Well, no, I'm not disappointed at all. I was just waiting for the time where you just, quench your thirst a little bit so I could see the coffee.
I've
Because I
got I've,
asked,
I've got water.
oh,
Yeah.
well, what's ironic is I actually got a nice coffee. I went to Starbucks and
Oh,
everything today. I was ready.
that's so funny. You brought a
Yeah.
coffee because of Coffee with Kim. Wow,
Yeah, I had to be ready for the opportunity. Like Coffee with Kim, that's the name of the topic. That's the podcast title. I'm like, all right, I got to stop at Starbucks, get my coffee. As soon as I got out the doctor's appointment, stopped at Starbucks, got me something to eat, got me a little coffee, put the coffee in the fridge, took it out the fridge at probably 10:59 because we was going at 11, and I'm ready to go.
10:59. Boy, you really cut it close.
Well, no, I took the coffee out the fridge. My setup, everything was here ready to go.
Okay.
The coffee was just in the fridge because it's iced coffee, so I was waiting for, the podcast to start.
Do you always drink iced coffee?
I
Or is it
it's
just
hit or
because it's
miss.
summer?
It's summer, so it's hit or miss. In a day in the cold, I'll drink hot, and like I feel like I was hot today, so I just went with the ice. But yeah,
Okay. Well, when we come to the mall next time, let's all go have coffee. And then I want to see if you get discovered again.
okay.
I'm just gonna sit there and
Yeah,
watch
you'd
what's
be
gonna happen.
surprised. It just never know. It's always like an adventure with me at the mall, especially.
I think it's an adventure with you anywhere.
Yeah,
You-
a little bit.
You're so
Or if not,
fun.
we're gonna make it an adventure.
You're great. You're just so much fun and you're hilarious and you have the
Thank you.
best attitude. I love it.
Thank you.
All mindset. This is my thing with coaching. I do
Yeah.
mindset and you just, boy, you're such an inspiration. So
Thank
thank you
you.
for coming. I'm just so honored that you did this
Thank you.
today.
Thank you for having me. I
Thank you
really
for sharing your
appreciate it.
story. I'm sorry that you got hurt. I truly sorry about that you got hurt.
Yeah.
And but What a great attitude. You really are an inspiration to everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, is there any other thing that you would like to share with anybody?
Not at the moment, but I mean, if anybody ever have any more questions going forward, they can always, ask you the questions, and we could set up another opportunity where I could come in
I'd
and
love it.
do another interview, and I can answer those questions for them.
I love it. And okay, where can people find you
Uh, well, I'm on
besides at the
Facebook.
mall?
I'm on Facebook under my full name, Alden Gibbs Jr. I have an Instagram. It's called International AG the Boss. The international part is because I think I'm internationally known, so that's why that's in the front. And then
Okay.
and
Wait,
then so
wait,
I got
wait,
the
wait, wait,
Facebook
wait,
page.
wait, wait. Okay.
Yes.
Now, how did you get that name international? What happened
Uh
there?
None. Just I feel like I know a lot of people, so I feel like I'm international. Plus I've been out of the country a few times, so
Oh,
I ran with it.
and so your Instagram is international
AG the Boss. I think.
AG.
Yes, so my initials Alden Gibbs, so AG, and then the boss. I play video games, and then my gamer tag is Smooth the Boss because I think I'm smooth. So I just added that to the end of my Instagram. But I'm pretty sure if you was to just search Alden Gibbs Jr. on Instagram or Facebook, that's where you'll find me.
Okay, that's
It'll
what
pop up.
that's a long name. Did anybody tell
Alden
you that that's
Gibbs
a really
Jr.
long name to have?
My name? Like,
International, I mean, just
oh yeah,
international alone, then you've added all the other stuff to it.
yes, yes. No, they did say that's a long name, but if you just search Alden Gibbs Jr., you'll find me. So that's on Facebook and Instagram. I think that's all the
Okay.
social medias.
And I'll post it in the show notes. So just in case they
Okay.
can't type all that and they can't
O-
find you and they get confused, they can just look in the show notes.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Like I
And
said, once again, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Looking forward for some more.
yes, yes, we're going to hang out soon. I cannot wait to go have real coffee with you. And I will
Okay.
be. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We just got to make sure it's before noon.
Uh, oh no, he's always going to remember that I said that before noon. All right. Well, thanks, Alden. I hope to talk to you soon. I hope to hang out with you soon.
All right. Me as well. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good day.
All right. You too.
Okay. Bye.